Hi everyone, welcome to Success Musics. In today's video we are going to see about count function in Excel. We all know that we can easily count by selecting the cells and we can see in the bottom below. But in today's video we are going to see how to do it with a formula. It will be very interesting. Let's watch the video. As I said earlier, in this tutorial we will learn more about count function, count, count A, count blank, countif, permute, combine. So let's jump onto our video and see how we can use these functions. This is one of the example for count function. How are we going to use count function? So here we are going to count. What are we going to count? We are going to count the number of cells that contain numbers only, right? So in this data, if you see the second row, so Excel will consider date also as a number only, and we have 4. We have the salary of Venkat. So this is the candidate data what we have. So it's all about candidate name, years of experience, date of joining, score from the interviewer. So it looks like it's a candidate joining data, right? So let's see how to count the number of cells that contain numbers only here. So this is our exercise for count. So what is written here in this exercise is count the number of cells contains numbers. So we are going to count the number of cells that contain numbers only from A2 to E2. So what is the formula for count? Whatever formula we have to enter in Excel, you have to start with the prefix equals. Type count, and you are going to give the range here. So I am selecting the range. So let's see what happens with this formula. So it shows number 3. You may ask why number 7 is not counted here. The reason is that 7 and YEAR, that is also written. So that will be considered as a characters. That's not a number as per Excel. So there are 3 cells that contain numbers. There is one more exercise for count function. That is count the number of cells contain numbers at first 2 columns. So these are 2 columns. Let's see how many cells contain numbers here. I am using the same formula, that is equals count, and I am selecting a range. So first 2 columns. So I don't want to select each and every rows and columns. Instead of that, I'll select first 2 columns A and B. So I'm giving a range of first 2 columns itself, and let's hit enter. So there is 0 number. You may ask again. So 7. So I have explained it earlier. So 7 here is not a number. So this is all about count function. Here we are going to see count A. So what is count A is non-empty cells. So here from A2 to E2, how many are non-empty cells? Let's find out. So for any formula, again I am hitting equals, and I am using the function count A, and I am selecting the range. So here there are 5 non-empty cells. So count A is basically used for counting the non-empty cells. So you may ask what is there to count blank cells. So in between there might be some blanks. So how to count that? We have one more function in Excel, that is count blank. Let's see what it is. Here is the example for count blank. We have a candidate joining details from HR. So there are some details missing here. We are going to count the empty cells in each and every column, right? As usual, for any formula, I am hitting equal as a prefix. So count blank, I want to count the blank cells, empty cells. I am selecting the range and hitting enter. For each and every columns, you don't need to go and do the same formula. If you're going to apply the same formula, you can just drag it and it will autofill. So this is a very good example for count blank. So with this formula, you can count the empty cells in each and every range, whatever you select. Say for example, I want to count the empty cells in this entire data. I'm hitting the formula again. Count blank function I'm using to find the empty cells, number of empty cells. So I'm selecting a range and I'm hitting enter. So here there are 5 cells empty. So here comes something interesting, countif. In this data we have only 6 records. Say for example you have 100, 200 of records, right? you have few category of the role of the candidates who are joining in your company. You have been asked to find out number of software engineers in the data. By that time, what function you can use is COUNTIF. So the syntax for COUNTIF is, as usual, for every formula, have it in mind, I'm hitting equals as prefix, COUNTIF. So I'm selecting the range. So I just want to find out the role, right? So I'm selecting this column. So I have given my range. Why I have selected the entire column is, in case down the line you may add few more candidates. By that time, no need to manually go to the data and select again. Instead of that, select the entire column, comma. So what I want to find out is software engineer, right? SW engineer in this data. So I have to give that SW engineer in double quotes. So why I am giving in double quotes? Because it's a characters, it's a string. So there are 4 software engineers as per the given data. And how many software testers? Let's find out. So I am selecting the range again. You can either enter the string in double quotes, or what you can do is you can select the cell address. So I have given the cell address this time, that is B3. I want to find out software tester. So let's see what happens. So there are 2 software testers as per the given data. Now let's go to permutation. So what is permutation? I'll give you an example for permutation. So you have to form 3 teams with 7 people. So how many ways we can form the team with given 7 people? The mathematical formula for permutation is given here. So if you do this formula, it will take long time, but using Excel you can find it in a second. So you just hit equals and hit permute. So number of candidates what we have is 7 and number of teams to be formed is 3. So this is the syntax for permute. I'm hitting enter. 210 ways we can form a team with given 7 candidates. So instead of giving 7 and 3, what we can do is we can give the cell address also. In a way, if any data is changed, you no need to go and do the formula manually again. So always practice by giving the cell address. In a way, things will go automated for you. So let's jump on to combination. So I'll give you real-time example for combination. So you're going to form 2-person team that can be formed from the 6 candidates whatever we hired. You remember we have 6 candidates here. So we are going to form 2-person team. So what are the different ways you can form 2-person team with the given 6 candidates? That is combination. So let's jump on to the formula quickly. The formula is, so you type combine. So total number of candidates is 6 and I have to form a team of 2. So I'm hitting enter. So I can form 15 different ways of team with given 6 candidates. Say that I have to form a 2-member team. It's all about combination. So sooner I'll come up with the next video with few more Excel tutorials. Thank you so much for watching.